Hey folks, Machinery Pete here. I am in West Unity, Ohio today, and we're doing an auction preview. Got a wonderful farm auction coming up, farm estate sale coming up March 22nd here in West Unity, Ohio by AA Brown Auction Service for Lynn Buehrer and her late husband Dave. We're going to get up close with that equipment here in a little bit, but folks were kind enough. We're going to do a little intro section here and talk to Lynn and her son Nate, and also folks with AA Brown Auction, Bert and Shane, were kind enough to invite me to come out to get an up close look at the equipment. And kind of an amazing story here about the late Dave Buehrer that I think you're going to enjoy. So as we come into the shop here, beautiful heated shop. And I should pan to the right here, folks, and let you know that Dave was a devoted Chevy guy. But here, we'll walk on over and meet the folks here. Well, folks, again, thank you for the invitation to come out. We'll do some introductions here. This is Nate Buehrer on the right, and this is Lynn Buehrer. And then with AA Brown Auction Service here on the left, we have Bert and Shane.
Yes.
And Shane, last name is Sumner. Okay. Well, thank you guys for the invitation to come out. A treat to be here. Lynn, we wish it was a different circumstance. David passed just this past November.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And of course, I looked at the equipment. Shane, you sent the link, and wow, just beautiful line of equipment. And folks, you know me, there's always the story behind the equipment and the farm, and that's why it was really just a treat to come out here and tell the story today. Now, I came in and we started chit-chatting a little bit, and Nate, you had a magazine ready to show me. Why don't I'll get up here and we'll show folks. This is the March 2007 edition, Muscle Machines. And Nate, Dave had quite talent in terms of restoring cars, I understand.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Look at this, folks. Wow. Now, what year is that, Nate?
It's 59.
59 Chevy. Look at that.
348 Tripower.
Wow. And how did Lynn? How did Dave get involved with the car restorations?
I think it really started when he was a kid, just building motors and
His first job working at Hayden Store in Archibald.
And worked at a gas station in Archibald and just loved all things Chevrolet. And
That was his first job working at the gas station in Archibald?
Yeah.
How far is Archibald from West Unity here?
20 miles.
Probably not even.
20 miles,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
Dave grew up on a dairy farm?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And now, this was one of his prize restorations, but I understand there was another one, a 57 Corvette, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, not near as well documented as a magazine,
Okay.
but that car won about everything it could.
Award-wise?
Award-wise.
What was the big show in Indianapolis? You said the Indy Gold?
Bloomington?
Bloomington.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bloomington Gold.
Bloomington Gold.
And then General Motors picked it to represent 57 model year
Wow.
for the 50th anniversary of Corvette,
Wow.
because it was the highest rated one on the books.
And that was Dave's handiwork.
Yep.
Wow.
They did everything in here,
In the shop here.
paint and everything.
Now, when I came
There's
in,
no paint booth.
you were saying there was in the story, we'll try to get a link to the story there, it says a 48,000 foot shop.
Yeah, I wish there was 48,000.
It just added a zero in there, huh?
Yeah, the
Okay.
typo is supposed to be 4,800.
Nice.
So.
But shop, neat as a pin here, folks, when I walked in. And Lynn, you were saying you guys had to add that door
Yes.
when you got your S660 combine?
Yes. When we
Okay.
bought that in 2016, he's like, that combine's going to be in here. And so we had to put that door in,
Yep.
which was quite a feat in a 40-some-year-old building.
Yes.
And the 9560 beforehand was sitting here in the same spot, but every year we'd have to take one of the duals off to get it in this door. I said, I'm not doing that.
So there came the new door in 2016.
Yep.
And that was a gold key combine.
It was a gold key, and
Yeah.
he enjoyed the tour and getting to see how they put combines together. So.
Right. Now, folks, Lynn gracious enough to share this story, and we were visiting before we started filming here, and the gold key factor just kind of came up, and you said your 8200 John Deere, 8210,
8210.
also a gold key tractor?
Yes.
Okay, and then we were just chatting a little bit how our data shows that gold key tends to add value because it speaks to the pride of ownership, and we were talking about Dave. Now, Lynn, you said, Pete, I can't show you the gold key.
We don't have the gold key.
Where is the gold key?
Well, Dave would always show it to everybody in the little pouch. He's like, oh, I got a gold key.
Yep.
And I laughingly had said to him, yeah, I'm going to bury you with this thing. And unfortunately, I had to do that a lot sooner than I thought. So it went with it.
But the gold keys actually rests with Dave.
Yes, it does.
And was that on your phone? Can you show me that picture of Dave's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. But again, speaks to the kind of the pride of ownership and how meticulous Dave was. He was very proud of that fact, huh, Lynn? That gold key.
Yes, he was.
It's always hard to find the exact picture on your cell phone, right? When you
I
need it.
know, it doesn't
Look, folks,
work.
I just wanted to
And
show you
I'm terrible
this.
about my
Look
phone.
at that.
First real tractor and last tractor.
Yes.
So that was the Super M, right?
Yep. It was Super M.
And that, what a powerful image. That might be one of the more powerful images I've ever seen. Dave's first and last tractor right there. That's amazing.
My wife and I got married in the back barn,
Nice.
and the Super M was the back drum.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect. And Lynn, you were saying that first tractor, that Super M, that was a very special day for Dave.
Yeah. When he was a kid, when his dad bought his Super M, he actually got to skip school and go with his dad to the local international dealer in Archibald and got to ride home on the tractor.
Wow.
So
That is a huge day.
He would have loved to have found his dad's tractor, but
Yeah.
so he had to settle for one that
Yeah. And Nate, you were saying, and Nate, by the way, you have a background as working at a John Deere dealership here,
Yeah, for
Kenfeld Group,
7
right?
years right after high school before I came here full time.
Yep. And so you were saying that the Super M actually has some parts from your grandfather's, or did I catch that right?
Yeah, before Grandpa B's got sold, some of the extra parts like the extra oil reservoir for the hydraulics
Sure.
was still hanging in the old barn. So Dad took some of those parts that he wanted and put on
Nice.
his. So there is some parts from that original one
Yeah.
on this one.
So Nate, growing up, man, you got a career in the with the farm equipment business there, and what was it about Dave that could just speak to his love of machinery, I guess?
I always describe Dad as a jack of all trades, master of most.
Yeah.
Because he did master
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That
Yeah.
the cars. But there was, Dad hated when I joked about it because I think it embarrassed him a little maybe. But one year we waxed the combine every year, right back there in the corner,
Yep.
and we got done waxing it. And I stood back. I was like, "Man, that thing looks good." Dad goes, "I don't know. There's still quite a few water spots on it. Let's wax it again." You really want to wax it the first time.
So he was a perfectionist.
Yes.
Everything,
Oh my gosh.
even the old semi, the 86, I think.
Yeah, I think it's an 86.
The old semi, we waxed
Camel.
that.
Wow. And you were saying even like the chisel plow
Everything got washed.
We
in
wouldn't
the fall.
wax the chisel plow, but it all got
washed.
off,
Yeah.
stored inside. So
Right.
He has been known to wax part of the corn planter, though.
That and the air seeder.
In the air seeder.
In the air seeder. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That's well again, that's who Dave was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
if you're that up close to something and working on it, you're gonna find things. You're gonna notice maybe, yeah, that belt doesn't look very good, or
Right.
that bearing looks like it's out. And while you're just waxing it or working on it, you shake stuff and
right.
find a lot of things you need to maintain while you're doing it. So
Right. About on the auction side, Shane and Bert, you guys have had lots of sales, and having a sale like this for these folks with a history of care, how is it from your side on the auction side?
It's a privilege to work with these
Yeah.
folks. And Shane can speak to that more. He's worked with them close, but yeah, it's a privilege to work with them. It really is.
Yeah.
Shane, when you first came out, got up close to the machinery, what was your reaction?
Wow. You know, and fortunately, I got to speak with Dave last fall, and we talked about some of these things and so on. And he assured me, he said, everything will look just
Like it's supposed to.
Yeah, and that they did not fail. You know, and the family's been very, very good to work with, and they too. If you, the truth is known, they're very particular as well.
Yeah.
So.
It was actually hard. Well, it's hard because Dad's not here, but it was hard cleaning the stuff up.
Yeah.
Because, like Dad said before he died, you know, clean it up like we always do, make it look really good, but don't make it look fake.
Yeah.
Like it's been
Like it's been.
overly cleaned up and overly done.
Like your
What
eyes.
you
So
brought
it
up,
was-
Nate, that is something that's very interesting. There's a very fine line there.
Yeah.
But the fact that Dave was aware of that and speaking about it says everything to me. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's the real deal farm equipment. We didn't hire some crew to come in and, you know,
No.
paint makes it what it ain't.
right, right.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
So it
Right.
was hard to. I think actually there's a few things that I didn't do to the stuff that we normally would because
Right.
I didn't want it to look fake.
And
I wanted it to look,
tell me if I'm wrong, but Lynn and Nate, Dave would want the folks who buy this equipment just to straight shot. This is our stuff. Yeah, like you said, Nate, nothing phony here. It's
No.
just this is how we care for it.
What
and
you're
yeah,
seeing is what you're getting.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
yeah,
And, you know, I mean, everything, it never sat outside unless it was being used. It was always, everything's always been stored in the barns or we get pile tractors
Right.
in here. So, yeah.
right. And the combine, Nate, you were saying you got the SX60 in here, and there was some corn.
yeah, you can never get all the corn
Yeah.
out of it.
Right.
So like the unload auger, you can run it for 3 days straight. You're not
Right.
going to shake all the corn out of
Right.
it coming right out of the field. So it sat in here high and dry,
Yep.
and the corn dried down. And when I put the auger out there in line, it all ran out the vertical, and there was a pile of corn on the ground. So
Message from Dad, maybe.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all
I don't want to
good.
make it look like
Yeah.
it looks good, but they didn't clean the inside of it
Yeah,
because we did.
Yeah,
We just
and actually, in terms of no mice around the combine, I understand you guys had that taken care of with
Yes.
He's waiting at the door.
Yes.
little cat. What?
The combine has its own personal mouse patrol.
Mouse patrol. Nice.
Dave said she could be a pain, but she didn't cost as much as new wiring. Or
There you go. She does not cost as much as new
Not
wiring.
as Nellie.
Nellie?
Nelly,
Nelly.
go.
What was it again?
Nellie.
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 Nelly.
Nellie. Well, Nellie, nice to meet you. Fantastic job with the combine all those years. Good job.
Whoever ends up buying it will probably find gray hair in it.
She would get clear inside.
That's awesome. Again, folks, the auction it's a Saturday, right? Saturday, March 22nd. Again, you can find it on Equipment Facts and AA Brown Auction. What is your guys' website again, Bart?
So it's www.aabrownauctions.com.
AABrownAuctions.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Bert, what the history of AA Brown? How far do you guys go back?
Shane and I go back farther than our company, actually.
Okay.
We both started out with Colonel Stanky in the years past.
Okay.
But about 24 or 5 years ago, I went out on my own. I was farming, trying to make a living.
Sure.
And coming up short at times.
Yep.
So we started our own company, just personal property to begin with, and then got a real estate license. So we've been 25 years.
Okay.
When the Colonel finally retired, Shane made the change and come over to our company. And we have a good relationship. Over the years, if the Colonel needed help, he'd call me. If
Sure.
I needed help, I'd call Shane. So
Right.
We've got some history,
Right.
but it's a local family business.
Deep roots in the local
Yeah,
auction.
I have farm background. Shane has some farm background, and his family's been in the machinery business for years, so he knows.
Ah. What on
If
the
he's
dealer
not wearing
side,
that hat,
Shane?
he's wearing the John Deere hat most of the time.
Nice. What
Used equipment.
Used equipment.
Used
okay.
equipment for many
Nice.
years. My dad, my father, and I. So
Buying and selling.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So
Well, so again, with a, speak to that, Shane, in terms of you've been buying and selling, probably over a wide area for a long time. To see the quality of equipment here on the auction March 22nd for someone who's out in Nebraska or northern Texas or Minnesota where I live or out east, kind of a unique opportunity to get this history of care with this quality equipment, isn't it?
yeah. And we try to do a good job of taking pictures as much as possible and so
Right.
on. But I would probably say I took the picture, so the quality isn't the best, but I
It
tell you,
looks
the
great.
equipment definitely speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Definitely. So,
Well, and the sale listing just went up recently, and you've already been getting some inquiries? Okay.
we already we had a gentleman call already and let him know if he could hire the local John Deere dealer to come out and inspect the combine. And
Oh,
I
sure.
said, well, I checked with the family to make sure, but I'm very curious to see how this turns out because
That's actually happening tomorrow morning.
oh, it's happening tomorrow morning.
There you go.
Okay, okay. But I told the gentleman, I said, I don't think you're going to be disappointed
Yeah.
at all. But certainly, that is something that the families agreed to. That they said, hey, that's fine.
Let 'em
Open,
look.
right.
Nothing to hide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing to hide in it.
Exactly.
So
And guys, is there an auction preview date coming up here, or
Yeah, March 15th.
so the Saturday previous?
9 to 1.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll be here.
And there again, folks, E. Brown Auction Service, and it's on Equipment Facts, March 22nd. So if you can come out and get up close to this equipment, by all means, come out March 15th. We hope this. If you can't make it, we hope this video can help a little bit. But guys, could we go get up close to the equipment now and learn a little bit more? Okay, let's go. Okay, folks, now we're going to get up close to the equipment. I just wanted to give you this little shot here off in the distance. You can see where Dave and Lynn lived in the woods there, overlooking the farm. Beautiful place. And Lynn, you were saying that Dave, with that vantage point looking here at the farm, could kind of always see what was happening or not happening, huh?
Yeah, this fall he wasn't feeling very well, but
Yeah.
he would. Well, what are they doing over there? You need to go see what they're doing. And it'd be like, no.
And Nate, you were saying he would notice if the barn door was open back there and stuff was happening.
Yeah.
see what equipment was moving around and whatnot. And
Right. And by the way, folks, we need to congratulate Nate and his wife. And what's your wife's name, Nate?
Marina.
Marina. They have a 6-month-old little guy. And before your dad passed, you named your little guy David for your dad.
Yep.
And Dad got to meet and
Meet little Davey.
the next generation.
And when I called Dad from the hospital and I told him it was a boy, I could tell he was jumping up and down.
Yeah. He was pretty excited.
But, he goes, well, what'd you name him? And I said, well, Dad, we named him David. He goes, oh, hell. What'd you do that shit for?
But
He's pretty proud of it.
oh, absolutely. That's fantastic, guys.
And Dave actually shelled a semi-load of corn this fall in this
did.
field right here.
Even though he felt not good.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I got pictures of him in the combine and all that. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was
Awesome.
pretty good. He was tired when he got done, but
Right. Right. And here is the combine, folks, the S660. Lynn, you were saying it's a 16 model,
yes,
and it's the Gold Key.
yes, it is.
Okay. And I can't remember, guys, how many hours on it? Do you recall?
Shane, you're the one that
When we left the sale bill in the shop,
I'll have to go get that.
He said 11 or 1200 on the separator.
11 or 12 sep. Yeah, that,
11 or 12.
yeah.
But I did the setup on it at the deer dealer, so.
You did. Okay. Not Kenfeld, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It was Kenfeld at the time. It's
Yeah.
Land now.
Right. But yeah, and like, folks, if you follow me for a while, you know that this capacity, this S660, is the most popular of that series. It's just a great size, and if you're looking for just a fantastic one-owner Gold Key, nice as you're going to find, it's selling right here, March 22nd, folks, in West Unity, Ohio. So that's the combine. Let's pan around here. We got a beautiful line of tractors. We do have one blue one there at the end.
That's mine.
Oh, that's Lynn's tractor. Okay, that's important. We will talk about that. Let's start with the 8320R. Lynn and Nate, what can you relay about this tractor?
Well, David really wanted that tractor, So we found one at another deer dealer up here in Hillsdale County, and they got it for him, and he's like, "Oh, you need to ride in this tractor. It rides really nice." And I'm like, he wanted me to drill with it. I always drilled with the 8200.
Sure.
And I'm like, no, because of the duals on the front. I
You
didn't
weren't
want that.
changing?
I'm like, no. Well, then,
I said I wasn't going to take them off.
yeah, and he wouldn't take them off for me. So,
Nice.
and it did ride a lot nicer. It was really nice.
Oh,
chisel
you're
plow.
grudgingly admitting. Okay,
I know,
that's
and
good.
it was really nice on doing a chisel plow.
Yeah.
It was nice on the ends.
We don't have the sale in front of us, folks. You can check it out on A Brown Auction Service, but roughly, do you guys know the hours on it?
3,500.
35?
35, 50,
Okay.
something like that. But
35 plus?
got the 50K transmission, so
Nice.
it says it does 34 mile an hour down the road. So it,
I don't think I could.
34. Well, yeah, you get humming around here in West Unity.
yeah, it doesn't take long.
Can't let any grass
But,
grow under your feet.
That's true. We got to get stuff done.
When Dad and Lynn bought it, it was worked in the deal to put new tires on it. So the tires only have like a season and a half on it because
Okay.
they didn't do any fall work this year.
Yeah, I'll try to zoom in here, folks.
Firestone.
And again, we all know the cost of tires and rubber, so to have low use on them like that, the beautiful rig, again, selling March 22nd. The other thing I'd say, folks, if you're not familiar with this area of Northwest Ohio, but generally speaking, our data has shown for 35 years, I mean, you guys have, this area has some of the highest, it's just the best kept equipment. And it's always been interesting to me. So I think we'll probably see that on March 22nd. Again, the quality of equipment you're getting is fantastic. Now, Lynn, the 8210, was that the Gold Key or was it the 8200?
Her dad
The
did the gold key on
8210.
Okay, that was your dad. Your dad bought that.
The 8210 and the 8200 and the new Versatile. Dave and I bought from my dad and my uncle,
Okay.
Alan and Dean Cryer,
Okay.
when they retired.
Okay.
And they were bought at the local John Deere dealer
Okay.
and the local cars, whatever.
Let's walk. We'll get a little closer here. Do we know offhand how many hours on either of the 82s?
3,060 on the 8210
Ooh.
and 4305 on the
Nice.
200.
Just
But,
over 3 on the 8210, folks.
That was my dad's planting tractor,
Okay.
and that's what Dave
Dad's
always used to
plant
plant.
Nice.
So it never did any heavy tillage. It pulled the turbo max. So
Okay. And what, we don't have the planter out here, but is the planter on the auction too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the shop.
In the
Okay.
barn.
Okay. And what planter is that?
it's a 1770 12 row.
12 row.
Narrow transport.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Maximum Ridge XP.
Well, again, folks, you want pre-def, you want, great, from the same family here, one owner. So both of these are one owner?
Yeah, my dad and
From
uncle
your
owned
family,
them.
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, gotcha.
Never
Again.
really left the farm.
Right.
It was- went from one barn to another.
And always shedded here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And by the way, we do have some snow on the ground here. Back in Minnesota, we have like 0. So you made me feel somewhat welcome. So thank you for that, guys.
Exactly.
Well, stick around. We're supposed to get more.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll maybe be moving on. I got to go to Mississippi tonight.
I don't
But
think you have to worry there.
let's go down and get up with the 4-wheel drive here, the 9482. So, Lynn, that was your dad and your uncle's.
Yep.
Do we know how many hours on this one, guys?
4,700.
4,700. Okay. Well, here again, I mean,
97 model, I believe. 96 or 97.
okay.
Greg, just backing up just a minute, the 8200, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the original rear rubber.
It's the
isn't it?
original rear rubber, and Dad really likes the DT710s because they last forever. So they actually found a used set of DT710s for the front to put on it
Nice.
because he wanted the front and the rear rubber to
They had
match.
to match.
They had.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
He's a
the
Firestone guy, but he wanted them to match.
Right.
Yes, they
John
had
Deere
to match.
tractors, Chevy trucks, and Firestone tires.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know, folks.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And Lynn, what on the New Holland here, the 9482 from your dad and your uncle? How are they using that on the farm?
It was field cultivator and chisel plow.
Sure.
Uncle Dean used it, worked ahead of the planter, and did all their chisel plowing, and so Dave's always like, oh, but it's blue. And I'm like, I can't help it.
You got him over that, didn't you?
I know. And
It's got a Cummins engine, so he was.
yeah,
Hey, there you go.
Cummins engine. And a friend of ours is like, oh, that's not a big one. That's a little Smurf. So I did find a picture of Smurfette, and I put it in the window when we got it. And so, yeah, that was my tractor.
Smurfette.
Right ahead of
And the Firestones on that have about a season and a half on them because they didn't do any fall tillage this year.
put those all on in November or December of 22. I got all new tires.
And Greg, like
They had the originals on it, the original Titans.
Greg, like so many places, our county used to have 7 or 8 dealerships. So at the time, the Ford dealer was a very good dealer, wasn't he? Down here at Bryan, Ohio. So therefore, that connection, I think, between your family and the Spangler family. So that was one of the reasons for a strong
Ford.
Ford and New Holland.
My grandparents and the original owners of the Spanglers were friends. They would go to Florida and spend time together.
Nice.
And then my dad and the one son were good friends, and then the other son, the grandson, is actually a lawyer in Bryan, and so we all know each other.
Well, hey, as the son of a small town dealer, I always figured that the business wasn't the machinery sitting on the lot. It's what you just described. It's the relationships. And that was the farm equipment business that I always thought was the case. I see the same with the auction business too, the connection with the customers. So guys, thank you for the up close on the tractors. And again, folks, what a line of tractors in the combine, the S660 here, selling March 22nd. Now we do have a truck, a little pickup sitting here. What do we got going here? Ooh, wow.
21-year model.
Okay.
With 45,000 miles.
Air Max. Then Dad wanted a fuel tank for it, and the 100-gallon L-shaped fuel tanks wouldn't fit between the cab and the wheel well. So we went down to Stryker Welding, and he had a
custom built it.
custom fuel tank made.
Nice. I love it.
20 gallons, what that comes out to.
Nice. 45,000 miles, you said?
Yes.
21 model?
Yes. Duramax diesel, with the Allison transmission.
Looks like new, folks.
Yes.
Again, we all know what the cost of a new pickup is. So here you go. We got a 4-year-old one selling March 22nd. A.A. Brown Auction Service. It's on Equipment Facts from the Buehrer family. And you, again, guys, thank you for just the insights on Dave and how he was thinking about the equipment and the farm. And now we do have another shed here. Can we peek in there? Is there more equipment from the auction on the...
Everything that's on
Okay,
it is-
okay. We'll take a little walk up here.
The snowplow truck isn't on it.
The what now?
Snowplow truck.
That stays.
You're staying, yeah.
That's just hiding in there.
Eventually, you'll get more snow here. That's, yeah, good to keep. That's... In Minnesota, I think everyone is thinking of selling their snowplows because it never snows anymore.
There's kind of a funny story about this building, other than my wife and I getting married in it.
Wait. You got married here.
Yep.
And this is where the Super M was the backdrop.
Super M was the main backdrop.
I love it.
The new tractor sitting here, and then the aisle heading back.
Wow.
But I can't remember what car it was. But Dad restored a car, and he sold a bunch that he had done down to the Auburn auctions. In Indiana.
Sure.
I can't remember what car it was, but he restored a car one winter, sold it there, and that paid for this building to go on.
For the building.
1988.
That is awesome. I love it. So there we go. There's what do we got back here? We've got let's start here. We got for the Zone Builder, the 122. Any idea how old this is roughly, guys?
23.
23.
23, that was it.
Okay.
About 200, 250 acres. Something
Okay.
like that, probably.
Okay. And what else we got? We have Turbo Max.
That's, 22.
Okay.
Is that 2 seasons?
A late model tillage on the sale, March 22nd, folks. The 6200 Landsman.
Yeah, they bought that new one, what, they like 14 or something?
14, I think it was.
Okay. And back in the corner, what do we got going there?
Got the
That's a-
backer.
Gross packer.
Okay.
foot, and then there's a
Rock picker.
hay buster rock picker that's been used on like
50 acres.
probably 50 acres.
Really?
It works really, really well. It just,
Okay.
it takes some work to get the dirt to
Yeah.
the point that it'll work good.
Right.
But yeah, that's about like
Okay.
brand new as well.
Yeah.
Beautiful piece.
So, yeah, you can tell the variety and the quality of equipment here. So, March 22nd, folks, in the planner. Again, the 1770 NT 12 row.
Yes.
Yeah.
Liquid.
And-
Nice XP with, it's got pneumatic row cleaners,
Okay.
Martin row cleaners with the precision air system.
Okay.
which Dad loved that system.
Yes.
But, and it really,
It was a good
plan.
rig, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Especially, we got quite a few rocks.
You guys got rocks here in West?
We got rocks.
Rocks keep us honest, right?
Yeah. Roasting definitely are a necessity for that. But
And the 1790 here.
I think that's a 14 as well.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
It's about, I looked it up, well, I had it hooked up. I think it shows 7,300 and some acres. But I actually just put
New blades and boots.
new blades and boots on it. Me and Kevin, the guy that
Helps.
would always help us. So,
Well, folks, again, you can get an idea here of the quality of equipment that's on March 22nd. And so let me back up here. You guys get together, and we'll do a little sign off here. But guys, thank you so much. I know you guys are busy for taking time. Lynn, Nate, it's going to be a fantastic sale. The equipment you have is amazing, beautiful condition. Thank you for telling us about your operation and telling us about Dave and A.A. Brown Auction Service. Bert, you guys, thank you for the invitation to come out. And again, hit us with your website again.
So it's www.aabrownauctions.com.
Okay. And Shane, thank you for reaching out to Dan in our Machine Repeat office and getting it set up to bring me out. And I'll be doing more about the sale, folks. Again, it's Saturday, March 22nd. Preview day, Saturday, March 15th. Guys, thanks much.
Thank you.
Okay, folks. We just ended our interview, and this happens everywhere I go. It's so good talking to folks. There's always more goodness. I wish we could just continue the conversation, but we were just chit-chatting here more about kind of Dave and how he rolls, and the topic came up about GPS. And Nate, you said, Dad,
he wouldn't put auto steer GPS on any of this equipment. When I talked to him about it, he'd say, well, it's got a steering wheel, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yes, it does.
yes, it does.
So
Now go
just steer it. Which
go steer
is
it.
fine because, like Lynn said, what's the fun?
What's
in
the fun of farm?
just hitting the button and doing nothing?
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
I do like, if I hop in a tractor with auto steer, I kind of don't even want to use it.
Right.
But
Nate, you were saying that for you personally, it goes so far. The lessons you learned growing up from your dad, when you're driving a pickup down the road,
yeah,
you don't turn the radio on.
never listen to the radio or anything because it goes back to the farm equipment and the fact that if you got the radio blaring, you can't hear what the equipment's doing.
Oh.
You don't know if
Right.
something broke or the engine's making a weird noise or anything like that. So, which in the combine, there's a lot to listen to.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't even know if the radio works because I never turned it on.
Wow. So
I'm sure it works,
but that again was
never had it on.
that was your dad's
Yep.
mantra.
Yeah.
Listen to the equipment.
Yep. You never listen to the radio or
Right.
nothing. When you
That's what I wanted to capture, folks. So not just wash it and wax it, listen to it. I mean, that's beautiful. And by the way, Lynn, again, we were chatting here, and I'll pan around, and the 4-wheel drive there. Now that was your father's, and Nate, you were saying, or just pick up that story how you
Well, it was while I still worked at, it was Kenfeld at the time, it's Trueland now. And I was gonna go chisel plow with that Versatile and, New Holland. But I was driving to the field and I look out across the field and I'm like, well, the tractor's running. I didn't know who was in it, but it was at Alan's house. And, so
and again, Alan is
Lynn's dad.
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad.
So I drive to the end of the field and he pulls up and he couldn't hardly walk at the time, so I don't know how he got in it. I had to help him out of it.
Yeah.
So I get hopped up in it, and I get squared up on the next row, and I about called him back, told him to get back in because there was no possible way I could drive as straight as he was.
Straight as a string.
Wow. And Lynn, you said Dave always talked about your dad
Yes.
being the straightest.
He said
planter.
nobody can plant corn any straighter than Al Cryer, and that's the truth. And my grandmother said Dad started planting corn when he was about 14 on probably an old H or something, and yeah, he was fiddle string straight.
Right. So how old was he when you, that story you referred to, Nate, when he could hardly get up into the tractor? I mean,
Oh, golly, he retired in 12. It was probably after Mom died. Probably 2000
2000. And he somehow,
or 2020.
I told you guys, I think
Yeah, he was probably probably 80.
80.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to, the ladder's kind of steep on it, so I kind of had to put him on my shoulder and help him get down. I don't know how he got in it.
But to me,
He always said he had really good hand strength because
Yeah.
that was probably how he did it. So
But to me, that's sort of the definition of a farmer right there, that even when he's infirm like that, I am going to get up into that thing and I'm going to do me some planting.
well, and after Dave and I started renting Dad and Dean's ground, Dad said that he was going to be the consultant.
Okay.
And he would drive around all the time and see who's doing what. Well, you could be over here doing this or whatever. But then he said nobody listened to him. So, but he always knew. I don't know how he did. This is I always drilled, and so the seed beans were in a gravity wagon.
Yeah.
So they'd get me help get me filled up.
Yeah.
And Dad would know to the minute how long it was going to be before I was going to need beans, and my light would start coming on. I'm like, oh, so he would come even though he couldn't hardly get around, and he would help me get backed up to the wagon and all this other kind of stuff. And yep, he would show up just about the time he knew that we're going to be out of beans.
And they never had an air seeder.
No,
They had a box drill, so I don't know how he knew exactly when that thing would be empty because he never pulled it.
I know. And so yeah, he just
He
couldn't
knew it.
walk.
He
But
knew it because he lived it, right?
Yeah. So
I love it. Well, the only thing I'll say, Nate, in terms of the pickup and the radio, maybe every Monday, AgriTalk about 10:30 Central. Maybe turn it on just for a few minutes, catch machinery feet on there. But no, that's
I
great
took the
stuff.
antenna off my Dodge sitting up there. I know. I drive a Dodge. Dad's a Chevy guy. He bought my first truck for like $1,000, and it just happened to be a Dodge.
Happened to be a Dodge.
That kind of screwed me up since. But the antenna one morning got all iced up,
Yep.
and it was starting to rotate out of the fender.
Sure.
And it was kind of trying to tear the fender up, so I took it off and have never put it back on.
No radio sense.
No.
Listening to the truck. I love it. I love it. And now you see, folks, why I had to turn the camera back on to capture this stuff. And also learn that Shane and Lynn, you guys were high school classmates.
yes,
What high school? That was West Unity here?
North Central Pioneer, Ohio.
Okay. How big was your class when you graduated?
About 70.
Was it that?
Yeah.
one?
That's a good size.
60s, 70s.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, again, folks, auction March 22nd. You're not going to find nicer used equipment, and the folks you're buying from, fantastic family here. So, guys, thanks for sharing those extra fun details.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, again, having so much fun here with Lynn Buehrer and Nate and the folks with A. Brown. We have one more little thing we got to add on to our video here. We were just visiting about Lynn, your husband Dave. He passed. He was 77.
77.
Okay, it was colon cancer.
Colon.
Okay,
Yep.
and again, I see this as I go around. We're all independent people here in ag country, but you said he had about 18 months. He was diagnosed.
Yeah. He was diagnosed in May of 23, and it was stage 4.
Yeah.
And he started chemo and all that, and he would have been one that would have never talked about colon cancer.
Right.
But just sort of a public service announcement from David: get a colonoscopy.
Right.
Starting at age 45, and he would tell that to everybody.
You said even if the field guy was out here on
Yeah,
the farm.
I mean it. Yeah,
yeah.
didn't matter.
Yeah.
Somebody felt you could talk to, and he would say, "Get your colonoscopies."
Right. Well, and from my end, folks, from someone who lost his grandfather, I was a kid, I was 14 years old, but my grandfather was 73 and passed from prostate cancer. And same thing, very independent guy. And it got away and he didn't do the checkups. And he, makes me sad that, we didn't have those extra 5, 10, 15 years with Grandpa. But again, Lynn, thank you for sharing the message, and a great message for people, not just ag country, but, get the testing And yeah, thank you for sharing that, Lynn.
Thank you.